Okay, so I'm going to be doing a new garden CAD drawing for a job that is coming up, I think. Here's my measurements from the job. I went out on the site and I measured up around the house, and yeah, so hopefully I can make sense of them, because my writing's not that neat and sometimes it's a little bit hard. We'll see. Anyway, we're going to start a new drawing. Just use the default OK. I usually start by going to draft settings, so you just right click in the middle. I don't have it set up a template, which I probably should, but it doesn't really matter, because I just each one, sometimes I'll start off a previous project and work next to that, or I'll as a template, or I'll just start new in this case. We don't want grid on, we don't want anything on in there, so we'll just get a polar tracking. With polar tracking on, just keep that 45 degrees. You can change that if you want. Okay, that, or missed the next one, draft settings, object snack, we want that on there, and we're going to select all. We can toggle these off down here in the bottom line, so we're object snappers on there. And we can do that with polar too. If you sometimes if you're moving plants around and stuff, you don't want it to snap to locations or be set from the polar tracking. So yeah, but at the moment we're just drawing the outline of this property, and we're just going to go draw, and we go line, and we just start in the corner. We're going to look at this drawing. So I usually just work it off the piece of paper, but in this instance I will I closed it before, so in this instance we'll just start here. What have we got written? I have no idea what I've written there, so we've already run into a bit of trouble. I think I can work it out. I don't know what I've written there either. That's remarkable. Oh, no, I think I've got it worked out. Okay, that's why. Because it's not all to scale. What you see here is the drawing of the other side of this outside wall, because it ran into this other wall. So really what you're seeing there, it's actually 950, I'm pretty sure, and there's a 220 and a 4810, so we'll go back to the thing, 950, so we're going to draw line, and we've got the snap on, so it's going down, well, 180 if you're looking at 0, 90, 180, and we're going to go down 950. Makes sense, looks about right. That's what's good to be drawing scale, because I would have written it about that. So 220 is this is the front of the garage. 220, we've entered that. So what we're doing is we just keep manually entering them in. So it's tracking here. We flick it around, and we want to put the dimensions in, which are working in millimeters. So 4.810 or 4,810 millimeters. We'll just go down here. I'll look at this command line thing here. Hang on, because I want to lift it up. Where is it? Usually it lifts up. There it is. So lift it up, and this gives out. So you can see it's. Then we'll go back to there, and I just put my mouse so it snaps into its position. Doesn't matter how far out. We can have it all this way out here. And then all I've got to do is just type in the measurement. It's 4810. You can see at the bottom of the screen, and just press enter, and it'll do it straight away. So that's the garage opening. And I think we've got a 220 on this side. If we flick this around to, what's that, 270 or something like that. The 270 is in terms of degrees if we're working in a compass. So 0, 90, 180, the 270, 360. So we're going to add to 270 something, I think. That'll be. Man, this is really bad. I thought I wrote these all, I could read them when I got back, but that's not so much the case. Anyway, it's 220. It'd have to be the same. Enter, and then if we have a look back at our picture, focus too. So it says 700, 965, I would say that would be. I've actually got a cleaner picture in front of me. Yeah, I do this quite a bit. You go out to the site, you write it, and you're just not convinced of how you've written it because of my writing. So 965. Go back to here. So it's 965. Enter. The next one will be. Why have I written 700 twice? Doesn't make sense. And we've got this little door check-in, so that would be 200. That would be 1734 for the door opening. That would be 280, and I'd say that would be 700 for sure. I've written 700 twice. I don't know why. I've written something there and scrubbed it out. So have a look. We're going to go 700 because I'm pretty sure this one's not that critical. And then I think we've got. Let's have a look at the next one. It's 280. 280. We'll just do a little return because that's the doorway, and then we'll exit that by pressing escape. And then if you want to get back to the line drawing again, instead of going up to line or clicking this line, just press enter. Enter, and then you've got your start point, first point in this case, line, and that's what we're going to go out there. You could use a point here and then just point under because it's actually going to be an opening, but all I'm going to do is just use a line and delete it anyway. I'd find that just, I don't have to be super efficient, but 1735 is the opening. So if I go 1735, enter, and then I just put a little dash back that way, escape, press enter again, start back on this edge here. This should be 280, enter. I'll just double check that we're on the right track. It's 280, yep, and then we've got a 1090 here. So this wall sticks out a little bit further than the last one. And yep, there he is there, so you get them more room there. And these are a couple of pillars there, we'll work them out in a second. It's 1145. 1145. And I've got nothing there for some reason. Why is that? That's very odd. I haven't written that down. That doesn't seem right. I'm just going to go. Well, the first one will go 1145. Look at that. I actually have a photo of the bricks. So this is 930 out there, and then 950, 535. We'll go draw. We'll do the same thing. We'll use it. Go from here. 535. Enter. Now we've got two pillars here, and we've got in the picture they're 470, so the other side will be 470 as well. That's what we want. Go back to this one. Can't remember if the inside or outside now. Then the outside, that's what I thought. So 470 again. And then snap it onto there. You could do this two different ways. So what I'll do here is if I go get a line again, and I just repeat it back to there. And then what we want to do is we want to measure this gap here, because we want that gap should, if my measurements are correct, it should be 950, I think. So I go tools, distance, 925, which doesn't make sense, but who knows? Is it massive? 25mm difference? Who knows? Not much. 950, or is it 970? Maybe that's a 7. It's like a 5. Could be a 7. So maybe I'm 5mm out. That was 535 from there. Let's check that too. Press enter, tape measure. Library tools, distance. That's 535. We'll just assume it's correct. Draw a line. We want to be in line with that. So there's our start, and then all we do is just get another line. Follow that one. 470. 470. 470. And then back to that corner there. And we can pretty much delete those two. We hold shift and select those. Erase. At the front of the house, we have the offset to the front footpath from. I've got to really write this more carefully. 5340. I have no idea where that's from. It's either from there or from there. That's just the distance of the front yard, but I'm not sure if I took it from the front of the pillars. I'm just going to look at something. So it looks like I'm correct, and this other one I just had a little return to show the window was, but so if I go draw a line, I'll just put a little 100 there. That's just where the window is, and the window will be 2720. And 100. And then the next bit will be 1120, 1125. Enter. The next section is 4360. And the boundary is off. The boundary of the property is off 1175. So this is sideways 1175. Enter that. Enter. And we'll take that out to there. Now, if I select this line, I can stretch it out to there, but sometimes it doesn't really snap the way I want it to do. So I'm assuming that's straight. Whereas I'd rather actually just press enter, start a new line, and then drag it out, because it snaps better. Whereas if I drag the line from the end, it doesn't seem to want to ever snap. I don't need to put that there now anyway, but that's the boundary for one side of the house. And then as we come around drawing it, we'll see it all come together, hopefully. I'm a bit annoyed with myself because this here, I can't remember if we took it off there. I think we took it off there. and I haven't written it down, minus 520, which means it's quite a small. It actually is there, the boundary, because this area's got a strange sort of footpath system where they've got this little easement for like services, which is all concreted anyway. So anyway, long story, but so that was 4360. And the next one's a window at 1820. So what we'll do, draw a line. We'll just rebate this 50 mil so it knows it's a window. Go 50. We got 50 there, yep. And then here we'll draw an 1820 window. It's a standard size. 50 again. And then the 1525. This is the brick wall section. It's quite a big house, this one, a single story. Another 1820 window. No, wrong way, what am I doing? So we'll edit that, just press undo. We'll press enter, get back to the line drawing tool, go up, we'll go 50 again. And then we'll go across 1820, which is the window size again. The next brick section is 1510. We'll go the 50 first. The next window, so we got 15. Oh, you go 1510. Enter. Another little 50 mil rebate to show the window. Enter. The window again this time is 1820, no surprises there. Oh, we won't have the polar tracking on, so let's undo that. Press enter, get back on the tool, click, see it snap onto the end here. And we lead it out, we go another 1820. And then we go back this way again, 50, enter. And then we've got a 1750, if I'm correct, brick wall area. 1750, and then this is a little doorway. It's 905. We'll go 100 for this one. Be the door jam. Oh, 905. I didn't press enter, and then 100, and then where's the next section? 6940. 6940. I don't know what that is exactly. Oh, that's in two sections. Oh, geez, I've really got to be better with my jotting down of notes on the, when I go out and look at things. And the next section is 2390. Oh, it's so frustrating because you can drive out to look at it and you don't do it properly. And then it's a 1035 on the corner here. Whoop. I don't know what's there. I can't quite remember. So, oh well, that's actually a doorway. So let's continue. We'll erase that. And I'm always habitually going back to draw and line for some reason. We're not going to just press enter, but we'll go 100. And this is the door. This is quite a large door actually. It's like above standard. So it's 1020 opening. And we'll go another 100. That's the laundry door. And if we look closely, 2035. I don't know. What do you guys reckon? If you look here, let's go out. 2005, I reckon. Seems to ring a bell. 2005, and then we've got a 460 at the end. So I'll just do this video to get all the perimeter in, and you can have a look at it. Was it 480? Well, that's 480, I think. Let's say 480, and there's a 960. So what did we put in there? We put a 460. So we'll add 20 mil. Enter, and then we'll go do a 180, and we'll add 960. Now we're in the alfresco area, and then it's a 310. And then we've got a 1450, and then we've got these big doors going in, window like doors. What should I put 100, and then to indicate these big doors, and they are 220. Then we've got a little 100 mil here, and then we go back to more brickwork, which is 660, and the same again, revert back in 100, enter, back up 0 to 360, where we got 3220 again, enter, another 100. And then we've got a 9, I think it's a 935, 955, I really can't see that. Have a look. $955. I'm going to go with 955. So there's one thing to learn from this video, is that just print your mud maps when you're at the job. So anyway, we're there. I'm going to 955. Sounds close enough. It sounds like this is a 9. I measure 955, but it could be the difference between 5mm mortar gaps in a corner brick. So for instance, the other area worked out to 960. So that would be probably, when they design the house, it works out to half bricks on the corners. They wouldn't do a third. So not either a 955 or 960 is probably right. That's why you see 470 pillars, and you see standard brick spacings usually, so like 1950s or yeah, and so on. Which is good in a way. But and the next section is, if we turn the corner, it's a tough one. Oh, maybe it's only 218. Okay, so 218, for some reason I got 218 mil to there, and then there's an AJ, so an articulation joint. So we'll just put that line there. It doesn't matter, we don't have to show it in the landscaping plan, but it was just, when I'm measuring the building, it was a good place I could leave my tape and memorise where I'd finished, because the tape's only so long and the building's much longer, so that's why I did it there. So I've got a 280, and then a window started there anyway, so at 4360. So if I'm going to draw a line, what we'll do is we'll go back on this one too, so 50. I don't know if it did go back like that. No, it didn't. I think that's just the AJ is 218, and then and then it's 3200 to the window. So it is just that way. So draw a line. So that's just actually just all brickwork, 3200, and then we've got a window. And these windows on this side are a lot smaller, 50. And then we turn around, so the next bit of window is 610. I think these are just the sort of utility side of the house, toilets, bathrooms, etc. Laundry, 50, and then we've got another 2680, which is just brickwork. and then another little 50. This is where the truth gets told when we go down this side of the house, because we'll start to find out if my measurements are actually correct. So if they don't meet up properly, it means something's wrong. So 50 again, and then got a 1050, 1050, and then we've got another little 50 return to show a window, and then we've got a window here that's a bit bigger. It's 2410. Then we go back to 50, and then we've got a bit more, but this is where I've confused myself a bit, because I've got to there and I think it's 700. That makes sense. Enter, and that's brick wall, and then we've got at the back of the garage we've got a 140, and you'll see why I'm confused. I'll show you, because look what I've done. So I've run out of space, and then I've drawn it over there and continued, and then it seems to make sense. So there's a 700 there, 1040 little 140 return, 960 doorway, and another 350 bit of external brickwork. So it'll make sense in a second. Go to there. So that was, I put the 700 in, yep. So that one's a 140, and then the doorway here is a 100, and then we jump across to a 960 door. Another little 100 to indicate the door, and then the last section will be 350. And now this line should theoretically, look at that, math is amazing, pretty damn close. It should line up with the other front of the garage. So that's where the garage is at the front. In total, between the front distance there and all those measurements there, I will be out by a total of tools distance 45 mil. I think in the landscaping plan we'll be okay with that. So that can be simply picking up the difference between, on this side, well, I measured that could be 5 mil here, 5 mil there. I'm usually pretty accurate with the tape and try to be as accurate as I can, but it could be like 2 mil, 3 mil, 5 mil. What's that? As long as we get to like a 20, and then this one here builds on that side is a bit more. Time you come all the way up here and around these corners. I don't know if it's worth finding that difference in it. I don't see where it is, but I would just assume that we can just extend this out 45 mil, or just leave it the way it is and just run that on an angle. But you really want it, or divide the difference. So what you could do, grab this one, or actually probably easier to go draw a line. If it was 45, click onto there, go up, and say it's I wouldn't even bother. I would just leave it the way it is. So I'll just go out like that, and just ignore the difference. Simply, I mean, it's only going to fall in the garden bed most likely. Oh, that's not right. It's actually one of the problems I get sometimes when I do those lines. They don't snap straight onto, when you get it onto that and it snaps onto that line, and you've got the polar tracking on, the polar tracking seems to get become secondary and it's ignored. So over the whole building we were 45 mil out around to the other side, which isn't too bad, all things considered, but we've still got a little bit more to go. We've got to fill out this alfresco area and then the boundaries, and then I'll stop the video and I'll make a second one for the design part. Draw a line. What have we got here? So on this back corner here we have 730 millimeter gap. the width of, oh hang on, this doesn't seem to make sense. We've got 730 there, 1570. I mustn't have added something. Yeah, it won't matter too much. We'll just go. We'll just assume it's 470. I don't imagine it'll be bigger than that. And then that size will be 1570. This is like a pillar at the end of an alfresco, and it's there to mount a TV right there. Well, I won't worry that. I'll actually do it from this end because I know this is more likely to be straight. Draw a line. We go here. So the space is 3810. Enter. And then this is the we go 470. We go back that direction. We've got 3800. And we've got 470. You can see in this instance, it's my measurements must be pretty good along here because they've worked out the same. What I've measured has been almost identical, I think. We can just draw a line here, and we'll see. Yeah, it's out like 1 mil maybe. So that's the difference between just from hand drawing on the site, hand measuring on the site, and then what I've put into the computer. That's the difference on the back alfresco. It's marginal. I still think it's better than actually going from a plan from the house. I think it probably picks up more nuances. Maybe the house isn't 100% square. Maybe that's where it lies, and you just don't see it. I don't think that's the case, but I don't know. It's weird things happen. So it's out by. So that out by 5 mil. Is that 5 mil? Or is that 50? That's 5 mil. So that's a 5 mil difference. Easily made in the brickwork. Not much in it. You'd never see it. So what I'd probably rather do is just draw the line from here. Keep it for the sake of keeping it straight there. And snap that back to there. And just take that off that pillar. That's it. Ignore that. Race. Oh, not that one. Oh, that one. Erase. Snap back this to the corner. And yeah, so that's our outline for this house, all mostly done. What we'll do is we'll just continue with the boundary. So draw line. We'll start on this corner here. That's the fence line. We'll just take it out to there, and then we've got a measurement here showing what the back fence. So here we've got it's a 4380 from this back wall here, or the alfresco, wherever it is. That's where the boundary is. 4380. Enter. And that's actually the size of the backyard. It's a very small backyard. So that's our backyard. We'll remove that. That was just a marker. Erase that. We'll join these up because these are part of the sort of portico step-up porch area. That's actually all concrete from the house slab, so that'll all be paved in something and stepped up like that. And now that measurement I don't know. I'm guessing because it's either from that pillar or I feel like I'm using this for a ruler. 3815 seems a bit small to me. I feel like the actual one is probably off this pillar. I just don't know. I'll have to get in contact with the client and see if he can confirm it for me. But that doesn't mean we can't work on the backyard part. Yeah. So probably the other thing to do is, as we did all that, we probably should have been saving. So let's go File, Save As. We're going to name it a new job. We'll call it called Michael Avondale Heights. The area the job's in Melbourne, Avondale Heights. We'll save it as that, and we'll come back for a second part to show you the design stage. Alright,